City action since Owen's report. They put up this no parking sign in front of this house that I've owned, and they ticketed my truck. However, they have done nothing to get the large tractor trailers off this residential street. How can they enforce this and not enforce the no truck sign you see here, the fact that there is supposed to be a 20-foot buffer between the street and the loading dock here? Thank you.
I am too low on the totem pole to help you with a political situation.
Okay, well that's what I wanted.
Well, you got a ticket. So I'm sorry, but that's what I had to do because you're parking in the no parking zone.
But all this other doesn't apply.
I read you the letter. You have a copy of it because it has your name on it. Delivery vehicles that park on the sidewalk on Maxwell Street will be cited for parking violation. The only exception to this will be in the case of the large tractor trailer truck, which is backed as far as possible into the large loading dock and yet still blocks a part of the sidewalk directly in front of the large dock. I can't help you. I'm too low on the totem pole.
Ms. Rose. Our code is fairly specific in terms of timelines for compliance with respect to notices of violation, and my suggestion is that we just follow that code instead of...
works for me.
That's great. Thank you.
Pardon me?
That works for me. All right.
Is it your professional opinion that the current buffer at Green Life that is at Maxwell Street does not meet the intent of a buffer between a commercial property and a residential property?
I want very much to give you a yes or no answer to that, but I'm finding it difficult. I don't think it meets the intent of the ordinance in the sense, just for the reason that was just mentioned. The truck, when it is in normal operation, is sitting in the buffer area. And that seems to me to be the basic problem that you have. From a legal standpoint, looking at not as a planner or as anything else, but from a lawyer standpoint, the reason I equivocate a bit is that the ordinance does allow alternate compliance, and the question is, does that alternate compliance extend so far as to allow them to regularly put a part of the operational portion of the loading dock within the buffer area? And that's what I don't know the legal answer to.
In that particular alternate compliance, you suggested earlier tonight that there has to be a quasi-judicial hearing to determine that, correct?
Yes, and I think one of the real difficulties is that the alternate compliance requires that it be equal to or better than regular compliance. And it's difficult, it's difficult for me to say how the current configuration is equal to or better than the regular compliance. Folks have tried to make the best of a very difficult situation and try to figure how can we fit this 15 pounds into this 5-pound bag, and have done masterfully at trying, but you're left with that fundamental difficulty.
And the reality being that the loading dock for that building, in order for it to comply with a buffer between a commercial and residential properties, shouldn't really even be where it currently is today.
It was very difficult for me to see as a planner how you could do that. The practical reality is that's where it is. But yes.
Hello.